if I told you that I start every day by reading the newspaper, you might be fairly unimpressed. However, if I told you that not only do I start the day by reading the newspaper, that I did so from a very early age, you might be a little more impressed, especially if I told you that that age was 3 years old. So my grandmother tells this story of how I would get up in the morning, run down the stairs, rifle through the paper until I found the business section. Yeah, not the funnies, but the business section. And I would go looking for my grandfather, who was usually on the couch drinking his morning coffee and also reading the paper. I'd climb up on the couch next to him, and I'd spend the rest of the morning reading the paper. I'd be looking to see what happened in the stock market or what major company takeover had happened. My grandmother loves to tell this story. It's a resonant memory for me because it's an early foretelling, a foretelling of a time when it was okay to be driven to succeed, when it was okay to be ambitious, when it was okay to believe that every dream my heart could hold, that I could do it and that I would do it. It's also resonant because it just reminds me of a time when it was okay to be open, to be naive like a child, and just believe that anything you set your mind to do, you could do. My grandmother will tell you the same thing. She'll tell you that she knew that that little girl with the newspaper under her arms, that she was going to be a leader, that she was going to be powerful, that that little girl was going to be influential. My grandmother loves to tell this story. I actually love to hear it. It never gets old. And in part, it never gets old because it reminds me of those dreams that I had very early on. But when my grandmother told this story, she never told me about how sometimes it would get lonely because I would be in rooms as I climbed the corporate ladder where I'd be the only, where I'd look all around me and I wouldn't see anyone who looked like me. She also never told me that this journey would actually be difficult. It would be lonely because there would be times where people would say things or think things about me that just didn't resonate with who I knew I was or who I aspired to be. It's funny because even with that, I still have that voice of that little girl in my head, constantly propelling me, constantly reminding me of why we started, reminding me that this journey was never about me. It was always about creating opportunities for other people. So with that, I want to be CEO. I want to be the boss. And I know that that makes people uncomfortable. You shouldn't focus on titles, people will tell you. And I get it, but it's not about the title. It's about creating opportunities for other people. It's about opening doors so other people have the same opportunity as me. Because truly, it's not enough. It's not enough for just me to get through the door. It's not enough if at the end of all of this, that I'm the only one who has a seat at the table. So that's my leadership vision. My leadership vision is about being a door opener, about being a seat filler, about being that reflection. Because what I want is that whenever any person of color enters an organization, that they'll look left, right, up, down, and they'll see someone who looks like them. And that will help them believe that they too can do anything that they envision. So I know that there are times where people say, you know what, she's a little aggressive, she's kind of direct, maybe a little loud, but truly in my heart, when I'm working hard or I'm driving to succeed, it's never about making anyone uncomfortable. It's never about taking anyone else's thunder. What I'm trying to do is fulfill that vision that that little girl had, that 3-year-old who aspired to be great. I'm trying to realize that. So the next time you see me, I hope that you'll see her. Thank you.